Hello everyone, welcome back. In the previous video about optimism, we had discussed regarding one of the governing bodies of Optimism Collective, which is Token House. Today we'll be looking at the other governing body of the Optimism Collective, which is called the Citizens House. So, the Citizens House is basically responsible for voting on the allocation of retro public goods funding, which is also known as retro PGF. So, the idea behind retro PGF is to reward builders who actually make a positive impact on the community by allowing them to profit from their contributions. Let's discuss a bit in detail about the role that the Citizens House plays. So, the first is retro PGF rounds. So, as I mentioned, that the Citizens House is closely associated with retro PGF rounds, where projects or contributions that are considered beneficial to the community they're rewarded after they have proven their value. So the Citizens House is involved in a predefined process which involves phases like scoping and then profile creation, voting, and lastly, then they disperse the rewards, which is in the form of OP tokens. So, participation criteria in the near future, the members of the Citizens House they will also play an important role in defining the criteria for participation in the governance process. This means that they will be able to set the standards or requirements for who can be involved in the decision making process. This way, they ensure that the people taking part are genuinely invested in the results of the decision making process. Then we have enforcement of codes of conduct. So the Citizens House will also oversee the adherence to the collective's codes of conduct. This means that there will be set rules and ethical guidelines for community members, and the Citizens House will have the power to enforce these rules, ensuring order and integrity within the system. Lastly, collaboration with Token House. So the Citizens House, they will be partnering with the Token House to reach decisions together. This collaboration will make sure that the decisions take into account both the viewpoint of the citizens and the OP token holders as well. So, in optimism, being a citizen is about who you are and sharing the same values, not just having a lot of tokens to vote with, like which is the case of Token House. So, to become a part of the Citizens House, you're provided with temporary badges for voting in retro PGF rounds. These rounds let you contribute to decision making, but having a voting badge doesn't really mean that you have permanent citizenship. It doesn't mean that you'll be able to participate in future rounds, and even membership depends on governance decisions, so it can change over time as well. And for this, the Citizens House will be working with the Token House, just like I mentioned before, so that they can set the criteria for participation in the Citizens House. This means that the requirements for citizenship may change and will be determined by the collective governance of the community. But as of now, they use a smart contract which is called attestation station, through which citizenships are decided based on the reputation data. So, right now, the Citizens House governance is expanding. Like in each round of Retro PGF, more voting badges are distributed, which shows that the community is growing and even more individuals are being given the opportunity to participate in the decision making process. So, as we can see here, in the first round, there were only 24 badge holders, and by round three, which happened pretty recently, the number increased to 146 badge holders. So, the aim for the future is to have citizenship widely spread throughout the optimism ecosystem. This means people from different industries will get the chance to become citizens, bringing their unique expertise to contribute to the community. Now, since we are familiar with both the token house as well as the citizens house, let's have a look at how different they are. The token house is made up of individuals who have invested in the ecosystem by acquiring OP tokens. These holders can delegate their voting power to others who are known as delegates. And this system basically creates a network of both the token owners and their chosen representatives who are called the delegates, who have a say in the governance process. On the other hand, the Citizens House is a collective of individuals who are known as optimism citizens, and they can include users or developers and even other stakeholders who are actively involved in the community. Then we have responsibility. So the token house has several key roles in governance. They are responsible for deciding on the distribution of incentives. They also propose and vote on protocol upgrades. They have authority over the treasury funds, etc. Whereas the citizens, they focus only on the allocation of rewards to providers of public goods. This process basically involves looking back at the contributions made and rewarding those that have had a significant positive impact. Then we have membership criteria. So, membership in the token house is open to anyone who can basically acquire OP tokens. This can be done through either you can purchase it through cryptocurrency exchanges or trading platforms, or you can also become a recipient of airdrops where tokens are distributed for free or as a reward for certain activities to encourage participation in the ecosystem. So there are set criterias for each airdrops which are conducted by Optimism. The selection of citizens is not based on token ownership, but through a process involving the attestation station smart contract. So, this contract manages all the entries within the community, helping to select members who have verifiably contributed towards the ecosystem. In the case of token house, token voting is distributed widely and is permissionless. So this basically means that anyone holding tokens can participate in the voting process and there is no need for special permissions or rules. But in Citizens House, a one person, one vote system is used where each citizen, regardless of the number of tokens they hold, they have an equal say in the decision making process. So, this way, they are able to make sure that the decisions are taken fairly by stopping too much control of decisions from going to just a few people. Lastly, in Token House, proposals are reviewed over a 3 week voting cycle. So, this shows a continuous or a rolling approach to considering proposals with a set period for the voting process. In retro PGF rounds, on the other hand, they take place in intervals and according to a predefined process. So, this means that there is a structured schedule for when these rounds take place. So that's all for this video. Stay tuned for the next one. Thanks for watching.